Welcome to Spirit360 Fellowship. We are an online spiritualist church, but we don't practice your grandma's spiritualism. No, we've removed the religion from our practices and have you focus on what we found to work best to help you open the spiritual eyes of your soul. We target and help old souls, empaths, and highly sensitive people who are spiritual but not religious, find the answers they seek, the solutions they're looking for, from a spiritual context. Our agenda is a practice agenda. This is what we recommend you practice every day to help open the spiritual eyes of your soul, to step beyond the delusions of your outward senses. We begin with a 10-minute meditation, followed by a short guided healing visualization. Then we'll do a quick inspirational talk and look at how vibrations fit in to our spiritual growth and development. We will then conduct an absence healing service, followed by a spiritual guide messages service, and then we'll wrap up and set our intention for the week. Our stillness meditation practice has two parts. The first part is focused concentration, training your mind to hold one thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts. The second part is silence, absence of thought. Combined together, this is the quickest, most efficient way to allow yourself to touch in to the spirit realm and do so accurately in verifiable ways. I begin with saying Reverend Bradley's request. If you know the words, you can say it along with me, or you can listen to them and allow them to set the tone and inspiration and intention for your meditation practice. After we say Reverend Bradley's request, you'll hear a first bell. Hold your image in your mind's eye. If you're like me and you don't see images, just pretend or know or imagine it's there. It will be there. On the second bell, release that image and drift into stillness or silence. And then on the bamboo clap, stay in a quiet, receptive place for our healing practice. Open, O Blessed Spirit, the spiritual eyes of my soul, that I may be released from the darkness overspreading me by the delusions of the outward senses, that I may perceive and understand those things spiritual. complete your meditation. And as you complete your meditation, allow your body to shift a little bit if needed, but keep your mind in a quiet, receptive place, a place of thinking tranquility, a place I like to call the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm, the chaos of the world is still at arm's length, but more importantly, the tempest of your mind is quieted. Your emotions are calm. Some people liken this to a safe harbor, others a stronghold or a fortress. However you relate to this place of quiet calmness, the threshold between your body and your spirit, allow yourself to remain here. Here in this moment, at this time, fully present. And in this safe harbor, this eye of the storm, allow yourself to scan the area, looking for a place called your healing place, my healing center. For me, it's a door, and it's a brilliant white door that almost seems to glow. And as I approach that door, it opens automatically, inviting me in. The perfect temperature, the perfect texture, the perfect level of harmony, very inviting. And as I step in, the door behind me closes, and I feel at home, at peace. I can't see a ceiling or a floor or walls, only a brilliant white luminescence. And as my eyes grow accustomed to this healing luminescence, I allow myself to experience peace and tranquility. And as I settle into this place, I allow myself to pull my hands in front of me. And as I pull my hands in front of me, I get a sense, a sensation, a vibration, if you will, the core essence of who I am. My harmonious vibration. Very good. Now allow yourself to change this vibration to a white ball. And as you change the color of this ball between your hands to a brilliant white healing luminescence, notice it's kind of sourced from the same energy source that the room is. The healing energy that surrounds us all the time and is fully available to us when directed by our mind, when focused on healing. Now, allow this white ball to glow even brighter. And as it does, notice how it grows more solid, more real, more tangible. Next, I want you to imagine that it weighs about 1 pound. Now, energy has no mass. Therefore, it should not have a weight. However, our physical body loves matter. So we're going to make this as real as we possibly can by directing this energy to become solid, a solid healing energy mass. It glows. It's got a brilliant white healing luminescence to it. And know that it is good. It feels solid. It feels real. It's starting to get just a little bit heavy. Next, what I want you to do is very important. To maintain your ability to visualize and hold the image of this ball, I want you to remove your left hand. As you remove your left hand, you're left holding this sphere, this ball, this healing orb. And I want you to slowly move it as though you were holding a softball. And you're going to start to pass it through your body. And as you do, it adapts and adjusts to the proper depth, to the proper contour. As it goes through your physical body and your spirit body, removing any and all disharmonies. You're going to maintain the integrity of the ball. It's going to remain round, but it's going to have a little bit of a erasure type texture to it. As it goes through your body, as your hand passes over your body, holding this healing orb, this healing luminescence, it passes through your spirit body, removing any and all disharmony. Anything that you don't want there gets erased, removed by this healing luminescence, this healing orb, this healing energy. It stays real, it stays heavy, it stays tangible, it stays brilliant white. Any area that needs a little extra attention, a little extra TLC, repeat the movement. Notice how as you go across your chest and your abdomen, this energy ball expands to take care of the back side of your skin and the front side as well, and everything in between. Feel your energy level rise, your level of vigor and vitality rise. Very good. Now I want you to return your left hand and transfer the ownership and control of the energy ball to your left hand. So now your left hand is holding this energy ball real, solid, tangible, this brilliant white healing luminescence, this healing orb. And we're going to better reach those areas which were a little bit difficult to reach with the right hand. And as you comb through, feel the disharmony leave, replaced by perfect harmony, the complete essence of you, your vibration. And as you do a nose-to-toe scan, see if there's any other area that needs a little bit of touch-up, a little extra TLC, and allow your hand to go there and remove any disharmonies. Next, I want you to pull your hands together. And as you pull your hands together, re-solidify this ball. And as you re-solidify this ball, notice it grows in intensity. It grows in brightness. Its luminescence is off the charts. And I want you to slowly raise it up to the top of your head and place it into your head. And as you do, release it. And as you release it, allow this energy to dissipate into your spirit body, growing its energy level, renewing harmony within your body. And by so doing, allowing harmony to materialize in your physical body. And know that it is good. And as you take a deep breath in, scan your body one more time and marvel at the wonder of this healing you've just given yourself, the greatest gift you can give yourself. Accept this healing and solidify the work we've done with these few powerful affirmations. I am well. I am healthy. I am enough. I am worthy. I deserve health. I deserve wealth. I deserve love. I produce right meditation. I engage in right thought. I take right action. I cause good karma. I am the one. I am greatly loved. And together we say, and so it is. Very good. And when you're ready, open your eyes and get reconnected back here now in this moment with us on Zoom. And those are two of the key practices that you should engage in every day. Meditation, twice a day. Healing, once a day. I recommend right before you go to bed, allowing yourself to lay down and set the intention for a beautiful, wonderful, restorative night's sleep. Then comb through your body, releasing any and all disharmony, replacing it with harmony. As you fall asleep, whispering the intentions of health and well-being and love and harmony. Consciously creating your experience in this three-dimensional reality is what spiritual growth and development is all about. Manifesting within your reach health and well-being, then allowing that to materialize in your physical body. That completes our meditation and healing practice. And as you take a deep breath and get grounded, I will now share with you this week's spiritual lesson. V is for vibrations. And this week's spiritual lesson introduces us to the concept of vibrational discernment. Vibrational discernment is the reason most people attract the wrong partners, the wrong roommates, keep on ending up in the wrong job, allowing themselves to procrastinate and avoid health and well-being. The ability to discern vibrations properly is a key skill and key part of being spiritually aware. In this week's lesson, we're going to show you the philosophy, the principles, and the practices that will allow you to know the difference and use that discernment, that difference, to create a happy, thriving life. Sound good? I think so. The inability to discern physical from mental from spiritual vibrations is the main reason that people keep on making the same mistakes over and over and over again. In this lesson, I'm going to share with you the philosophy, the principles, and the practices that help you differentiate between physical, mental, and spiritual vibrations. The philosophy is simple. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. And our physical perception relates to energy in the term of vibrations or frequency. It's a simple way that works. Nothing magical about it. But it is limited to our physical ability to perceive. And that's how we understand things in terms of higher and lower, faster and slower, stronger and weaker. That's the philosophy. The principles of energy, of vibration, are broken down into three aspects or three ways to perceive it or to consider it. The first is a biological or physical. The second is a mental or thought. And the third is spiritual or pure energy and consciousness. I like to call the physical aspect beast mode. And so many people are proud of their beast mode, their ability to generate and motivate and do a state change and be able to harvest and harness the internal power and fortitude of their will, of overcoming their mind's limitations. This is the source and the reason that sound healing is so popular. This is the reason that tonal healing is so popular, because it is grounded in our physical body's connection to the physical senses. It has very little to do with your spiritual energy. So when most people say, I need to raise my energy, I need to raise my frequency, I need to raise my vibration, they're talking about that energy which is sourced within our physical body and fueled by the food we eat. Nothing to do with our spirit self. Most people are looking for that pick-me-up to overcome depression, to bypass anxiety, to give them the fortitude they need to get the job done. That's why physical energy, physical vibrations, state changes can leave us exhausted because they're limited in nature. They can be optimized and maximized, but they're still limited. Beast mode is an essential skill set. Being able to go within and overcome barriers to taking action is essential to getting the job done. But is it required? Is it the best method? I don't know. Only you will know. And that's based on your intuitive experience in the moment. The second principle of vibrations has to do with thoughts. Thoughts are things, thoughts are real. So you think, so you are. So you think you shall become, so shall you become. So thought mode is the realm, is the playground of spiritual growth and development. As you become more spiritually connected with the spirit part of you that transcends the delusions of your outward senses and your physical reality, you get access to a source of energy that is limitless. Now, our thoughts are not limitless, but are damn near limitless. Our thoughts are much like light and photons. Our thoughts can either be a wave or a particle, just like light. The slit test, you can go look at it and see what you think. But in the moment of creation, our thoughts can become things in the form of particles, or our thoughts can continue to be waves. Now, what's interesting is your thoughts are almost instantaneously accessible by others. Think about the last time you thought about someone and they called you almost instantly. So thoughts transcend time and space by a connection to another vibration. This is the spirit realm. This is the realm we're going to talk about next, spirit mode. So the third principle is spirit mode, pure mind, pure consciousness, sustainability in spiritual evolution, because our spirit body transcends and continues after the physical body dies. So everything that we've been constrained by is no longer a constraint. It still needs to be trained and developed. It's not perfectly evolved to individual spiritual perfection just because the physical body's gone. But you can learn things quickly, master things quickly. Spiritual growth and development is the process of allowing ourselves to gain access to our spirit self, rediscover our spirit, that part of us that lives after we die. By doing so, we tap into the core essence of our vibration, the pure essence of our spirit self. Now, that essence happens to be constrained by the genetic code right now because we're in a physical body. But our spirit guides and teachers, our friends and loved ones who are departed on the other side, have no such constraints. However, just like you have a radio, a receiver in your car that has to dial into a specific frequency to pick up a signal, our spirit bodies have a specific vibration, a specific frequency, a specific energy. And it is by allowing our mind to recognize and shift its frequency that we can then communicate with our spirit guides and teachers. That is the main thing that spiritualism is all about, connecting with our spirit guides and teachers, and who we become in the process of doing so in a reliable, verifiable way. You know, spirit communication is dead simple, but not at all easy. It's just like being able to play a piano, not very hard. But the practicing to do it on command is harder. To doing it at a professional level is even harder. The practices that help us develop that ability is what we're going to talk about next. So you've got a physical body. In that physical body, you got a brain. In that brain sits a mind. That mind is your consciousness that lives after you die. After you die, then you're a spirit only. But tucked away right now is your spirit. And that spirit self is malleable, if you will. So it's able to tune in and connect with other frequencies or vibrations of other entities and energies to bring about quite interesting results. The best practice I've found to allow you to begin to hone that skill, to know for sure that your mind is accessing your spiritual intuitive knowing, your spiritual senses, is to use simple playing cards and practice a whole lot. Here is this week's Spiritual Vibrations practice. Get a deck of playing cards, and with that deck of playing cards, remove all the face cards. So you only have red and black cards. Now, red vibrationally feels different than black. What we're trying to do is allow our spirit senses to inform our discernment of which vibration is which. And the way you do that is to hold each card in your hand and look. Now you have to get through a couple of things. The first thing you have to get through is this delusion that your body is fine-tuned and calibrated enough to feel the difference in the weight depending on what's painted on the card. Some people claim to do that. I think it's something a little bit different. The second thing you've got to do is you've got to transcend your mind and your brain's ability to count cards, to predict, to guess. And the third thing you have to do is quiet your mind, stay in the eye of the storm for an extended period of time at the threshold between your spirit body and your physical body, here, now, and present in this moment, and allow yourself to feel the difference and understand the difference between your thinking and guessing and your spirit communication with yourself, your intuitive knowing. They feel different. So vibrational discernment is your ability to first differentiate between the energy level of your physical body, the thoughts in your mind, and your spirit senses communicating and bridging the gap between all of those different aspects in such a way that allows you to accurately, reliably, and verifiably know what the next card is. Until you can do that, you're simply guessing. And guessing alone isn't being intuitive, isn't being spiritual. It won't get the job done. So when you're in spirit mode, your mind is quiet. Your body is still. What we're doing is training you to recognize the difference in feeling, the difference in vibration between information from your physical senses and information from your spiritual senses. Over time, this skill set is available to you always with a simple thought. Take a deep breath, let it out, touch stillness, come back up, and you have access to your spirit self, your spiritual knowing, your intuitive knowing, your spirit senses. Until you know that difference, until you can discern the vibrational difference and how they feel different between your physical senses, your thinking mind, and your spiritual mind, you've got more work to do. So that's your practice this week. Get a deck of playing cards, pull out the face cards, and go to work discerning the difference between red and black. All of a sudden, you'll pick up one card, and you will know that you know exactly what that card is. No doubt. That's the feeling we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. That's when you know. Now, being able to find that difference on command is the name of the game. Once you do that, the world indeed becomes your oyster. That's it. V is for vibration, the building blocks of everything in our universe. Announcements, couple things. Privacy is of our utmost importance. And for some people, they live in places where it's not necessarily a good idea for for anyone to discover that they're at a weird church in spiritualism instead of a traditional Christian. So when you register to show up here, you're welcome to either just use your first name or your first name and last initial. You're also welcome to leave your camera on mute or off. Now, when I record, I only record me. That's why you have to look at my big fat head here in the middle all the time. All the other people don't get recorded. So anything that goes out and is being recorded is just of me and not of you. and I only use first names, and that is deliberate and intentional. So whatever you need to do to be here and feel safe, do. We are a church. We are an organization, so we operate on donations. If you'd like to make a donation, cash works. You can go to spirit360.org and find the donations button. And right now we're using PayPal. If you need another way, let me know. We got Venmo, and you can mail a check. You can also invite a friend, or you can share what we're doing on social media. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are lots of different ways you can contribute to what we're doing here if it rings right, if it feels true. We are in the process of putting together a school. It's called Old Soul Academy. And Old Soul Academy has 2 classes up right now. And it's being rewritten and redone right now for a January launch. And the intention of the school is to help you develop the tangible, displayable, verifiable psychic and mediumship skills and learn the healing arts. Like I say, we're in the process of doing that. That's actually how this all started, but I didn't know enough about doing YouTube and video, and all the stuff was just really, really boring, and it's like I wouldn't watch it. So I've been trying to figure out how to master all this stuff since the pandemic has started, and trying to get a little bit better at talking to a camera instead of talking to a room full of people. And it's a completely different skill set. All right. I think that's all of the announcements. This is our absence healing service. Absence healing is not prayer. Prayer alone doesn't work. If prayer alone did work, if Reiki alone did work, there would be no illness, there would be no death in our world, which isn't the case. In this healing service, there are 3 parts. Your part is to hold an image, touch the vibration of the person to whom you'd like to send healing to. You'll need to hold that image for 1 minute. My job is to hold the healing energy and project it for 3 minutes, so you can send healing to more than one person. And in an opening prayer, I will invite our spirit guides and teachers to take the energy I project and send it to those you image for their highest and best good. I will be setting the insight timer, so you will hear 3 bells. Each time you hear a bell, change the image of the person to whom you'd like to send your healing. And at the end, we will hear the bamboo clap. After this brief prayer, begin with the first bell. I invite our spirit guides and teachers to step very close to us, to send these healing energies as projected here this morning for the highest and best good of those imaged, that they may experience health, harmony, complete peace of mind, and well-being. We thank our spirit guides and teachers for their assistance in sending these healing energies to those imaged for their highest and best good. Amen. Thank you for your generosity in sending these healing energies to those you love. This is our messages service. During this service, I offer each person joining us on Zoom a message from our spirit guides and teachers for their highest and best good. The way it works is I will ask each of you if you would like a message. I need your explicit agreement. I will never touch your vibration without your permission. Your privacy is above all what we respect most. Once you say yes, I will quiet my mind and have my teachers reach out to your teachers to share with me what they would like you to know today for your highest and best good. If I have a relationship with you, if I know you, if we met in person, occasionally one of your teachers will approach me directly and work with me. If that happens, it's always a bonus and a plus for me. I will do my best to let you know with whom I am working. And most importantly, I will let you know if I'm not getting information directly from Spirit. As a psychic and medium, many times I will use my own intuitive knowing to help express a feeling or a sense that I'm receiving from Spirit. A couple of things. This is a public forum. As such, when you receive your message, it may be given in such a way that more than one person may benefit. So as you're listening to these messages, if the message rings true, if it feels right, take it. It's there for our highest and best good. Spirit knows that sometimes when we're not on the hot seat, when we're not the person directly receiving the message, we can see things and hear things and understand things more easily than when we're trying to figure out exactly what the heck this message means in my life right now. If you receive information about the future, please know that it is not cast in stone. It's simply a possibility or a probability. And that information is being given to you. So you can act to either bring it about or to change it as you see fit. Being forewarned is being forearmed. And the last thing to share with you is this. These messages were recorded during our live Zoom services that we conduct each Sunday morning at 7:30 and 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. To join us, get your invite at spirit360.org. Click the Get Your Invite button and we will email you instructions how you can join us via Zoom, where you will be offered a message for your highest and best good, along with these people who joined us today. I will start with a message for our general highest and best good from one of my teachers. For this message, I use a technique called Inspirational Speaking. It's a very light form of trance, where I allow one of my teachers to step very close to me, and I repeat exactly what they say without any intervention. With that, let's see who would like to share something with us for today. My teacher, Nathan, steps forward. Nathan is my general companion guide and also healing teacher. He stands on my left and is generally wearing a Men in Black type suit. Good morning. It is again my pleasure to share my thoughts about life in general, and more importantly, having you get what you want from this life. You know, it's interesting, the phrase, being one's own worst enemy. But for people who are sensitive and more attuned to the spirit world than simply the physical world, many times we are our own worst enemy. And what I mean by that is simply this. You have your eyes and ears and your smell and your taste and your sense of touch. And they're all tuned and geared towards helping you master your travels through this physical world. But many times, these physical senses give us information that disagrees with some other source of information within our awareness. This is especially true when it comes to matters of the heart, especially our own relationship with ourselves. Because we serve too many masters. Our work master, our relationship master, our family masters, rather than the one master that matters most, yourself. You see, many times it's been said that spiritual growth and development is simply becoming master of your own vessel. And this vessel you've chosen this lifetime is the person who greets you in the mirror each morning. Allowing yourself to be guided by the spirit you, the part that lives after this vessel dies, who allows connection with other energy sources. As this entity is alluded to earlier, the future casts a shadow before it. And it is your spirit self that can sense and perceive and know that shadow. And many times we are distracted by our physical senses, disregarding this important source of spiritual knowing. Allowing yourself to become the person you incarnated to be, to learn what you incarnated to learn, is spiritual growth, is spiritual development. But you're also here to have fun. You're also here to accomplish things, experience things, enjoy things. Allow yourself to be fun, have fun. And most of all, become your own champion. As you allow yourself to champion your needs, your ambitions, your desires, becoming truly aligned with the person you know yourself to be, and having your actions reflect that knowing, is the source of good karma. Cause and effect that brings about what you desire. There are only 3 simple rules. Harm no one else. Harm not yourself. And learn to give and receive love freely. Is that not the golden rule? My highest blessings. Thank you, Nathan. So that was my companion guide and healing teacher, Nathan. When I do inspirational speaking, I am aware of the general sense of what's going on because my spirit self is still in my body. But I deliberately have to not listen. So I'm aware of maybe 2 or 3 or 4 words that he's saying at the time, and do my best to not get interested in what he's saying. So I always have to go back and play this message so I can see what the heck he shared with you all using my body. Anyway, that's a different level of trust, especially when you get into the deeper levels of trance. Here are the messages from our Zoom meetings today. And Sylvia, would you like a message? All right, so this morning the message comes from Nathan, and Nathan stands on my left, and he's kind of my main companion and healing guide. And he reminds you that sometimes when people are and the feeling he's given me, I'm interpreting as being difficult. And sometimes when people are being difficult, you need to rebuke them before you turn the other cheek. And this is timeless advice for all sensitive people. And remember, the rebuke doesn't need to be nasty. It can simply be a statement of, I don't like that, that doesn't work for me. But you have a tendency to take in the responsibility for your own health and well-being and mental sanity. And sometimes the quickest way to solve a problem is just go to the source and saying, I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. I appreciate it if you don't do that around me. Rebuke them, then turn the other cheek. And it is very restorative in our physical experience of the world, emotionally, and with our personality. So I will bless you and leave you with that, and to see if you have any questions or comments or concerns. No? That made sense? Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things I struggle with. This is, I don't know if I mentioned this with you all, but our little dog that we just shanghaied from my stepdaughter is a little barker. And I'm an introvert. I'm an INFP, and I like quiet. And the little barker, his little voice goes straight through me. So in desperation, I looked around and I decided to get a bark collar. Until the bark collar shows up from Amazon, and I look at it and say, I am absolutely not the type of person who wants to train an animal that way. So I looked at it and said, okay, I've got to train myself on how to be the type of owner that makes it safe that my dog will inform me when he hears something, but not incessantly bark. So that was my little thing this week. So I've got a box to go back to Amazon because my rebukes have not worked with little Jägermeister. So I have to figure out a way to rebuke him in a way that he understands it. And then turn the other cheek, because the shock collar just, anyway, all I can think of is this damn cattle prod. And it's like, no way, I don't want to do that. And it's got to beep, and it's got to vibrate, and it's got a little bit of a shock. So anyway, we're never too old to learn. So with that, I will bless you and leave you with that. And thank you for letting me run off on my little fantasy. And Robin, would you like a message? Interesting. I've got you constructing a very intricate cake. And this is one of those cakes that has like 7 or 8 very tiny, thin layers of cake, and then almost an equal width of icing. And it's very moist. It's very appealing. And you've done a very good job at making all of the layers of the cake. But you're not happy because some of them are a little bit thicker than others. And what you're looking for is both that initial aesthetic look when you cut it of this complete uniformity and this brilliant work of art, which is also something you can consume. And so Tao Chuan Ling is my teacher on my right, and he shares with you a reminder that there's more than one way to make a layer cake. And he's showing you with a knife, trimming the layers to the exact precise distance you want. So make a bigger cake, and then actually trim the layers, and then you get them precisely the way you want. And reminds you that the technique you use is less important than the results you get. So the technique you use is less important than the results you get. So some people maybe take a lot of pride in being able to make the perfect sponge cake, the perfect sponge at the perfect level, and they don't have to trim it any. And people who get the job done, trim the damn cake, make it just how you want to, and then enjoy it. So don't worry so much about technique, focus on result. And you'll find that within you, it's almost a feeling, if you really focus on this and you really use your creativity and your imagination to solve the problems, regardless of what the book says the technique should be, a sense of freedom and a sense of accomplishment and a job well done. So I will bless you and leave you with that, and then invite you to, if you have any questions or comments about that.
Yeah, that's perfect for my life. I get focused on one way and don't see anything else but the way I'm thinking. So yeah, thank you for that reminder that there are other ways. Yeah.
You're welcome. And so one of the things I suggest is, when you feel like you're not getting the results you want, create a page in your journal and start to brainstorm different ideas and different ways to get the solution. And this is not sometimes it happens very quickly. Sometimes when you're sitting down the first day, you'll see a couple of different alternatives. But the act of writing it into your journal, here's the problem, I want this perfect cake to look like it does on Pinterest. And right now, this is my tool set. If you start to create this page in your journal, then the subconscious part of your mind will start to collect information and help you solve that problem. And then in a day or 2 days later, maybe 3 or 4, depending on the complexity of the problem, some solution that feels right will show up. Or you'll see a link somewhere and it points to the cake master showing you some technique, and you go, that'll work for me. So the deliberate journaling to help you solve the problems is often the missing link to access that part of our intuitive self, which the brain doesn't want to honor. So I will bless you and leave you with that. Bob, would you like a message, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I've got an image. This is the traditional Christmas tree. It's a live tree, and the smell is just glorious. It's just taking over the whole house. And you're there with someone, and you have different methods on how you like to put the tinsel on this tree. So one of you is one tinsel strand at a time. And the other person is kind of just randomly throwing it on there. And one of the things this message is about, and it's coming from Tao Chuan Ling, my high teacher, and Tao Chuan Ling is sharing with you that while there is no right or wrong way to do it, it seems as some people always feel there is a right or wrong way to do it. And this simple difference in preferences is no more than that. It's a difference in preferences. And the part that is interesting about this message as I'm looking at it is it seems like you're the type person who would always allow the other person to dictate the way the tinsel's putting up, but you're coming to something in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And that's why we used a Christmas tree on this one. Something's going to come up in the next 2 to 3 weeks where you feel like you should put the tinsel on one way and someone else feels like the tinsel should be put on another way. And in your nature, you're typically the type of, it's just tinsel, who cares? You need to stand your ground. You need to really say, no, this is how we need to do the tinsel. Not because it's right or wrong, but because it's right or wrong for you. And you being able to do this, okay, the word he wants me to use is you being able to convey the importance of how this is going to be handled is very important to you. Otherwise, you're liable to go into the new year with a large dose of resentment, which is never a good thing. So I will bless you and leave you with that and see if there's any clarification or if that made sense to you.
Absolutely, it was beautiful.
Okay, I will bless you and leave you with that, my friend. One of the things I'm missing, and one of the things I'm missing right now is when I give readings in person, I get the feedback of the person's vibration. That doesn't happen on Zoom, so I can see your face, and on your face, sometimes that doesn't match the feeling I would get. So I asked for a little clarification from you and see if I need to explain something different, because when I'm giving the message, sometimes if we were in person, I would alter the way I deliver the message based on the feedback. So that's what happens when I ask you for the if feedback. And I don't know, this is the first time I met Bob, so I don't have a sense of how his teachers want to communicate. So I will bless you and leave you with that, my friend. And Hazel, would you like a message?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so this is coming from my joy guide, Christopher. Now, Christopher is about a 6.5, 7-year-old boy. He's missing one tooth, and he's got one big tooth, and he kind of looks like Buster Brown. And you are sitting there in front of one of the biggest darn candy canes I've ever seen in my life. This is probably a 4-pound candy cane. And as you're looking at this candy cane, going through your mind is, candy canes are nice, but I prefer Cadbury eggs. And Christopher is reminding you that life's too damn short not to get what you want. So make sure that you get what you need. You give Hazel a gift of what she needs this year, and make the holiday feel the way the holiday, find that holiday tradition for yourself, and make sure you honor that. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if there's anything, any clarification on that.
Thank you.
God bless you. And Mary, would you like a message? Please, yes? Okay, thank you.
To the chair.
All right, Mary, the first thing I'm seeing around you, and this is coming from my teacher, Nathan. I think I shared that my teachers reach out to your teachers and then tell me what to tell you. So Nathan is working with me, and he's showing me the image of a little cherub, a little flying around Valentine kind of guy. And as this little Valentine guy is flying around, you're trying to influence them as to who he should put the arrow in. And pardon me. What Nathan is wanting me to share with you this morning is that you have worked a great deal of time and energy. You've devoted a great deal of time and energy in your life to knowing exactly what and who and why you want someone or something in your life. And he's reminding you that this concept or the idea of a cherub going around, a little Valentine guy putting an arrow in someone's butt to have you fall in love is an old idea that no longer serves you. And even though it's fun and it's kind of charming and everything, it's not it is no longer serving you the way that, how do you want me to say that? It's no longer serving you at your level of awareness. So look at the area in your life where you kind of, you know exactly what and why and how and everything, you know everything about it, but you still have this little part of Santa Claus is real, the Easter Bunny is real, wanting you to guide things, because that's no longer serving you. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that made any darn sense to you.
Yeah, it did.
Excellent. All right. My highest blessings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I got a couple of chats here, so. All right. So, Beverly, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so Nathan is stepping very close, and he's reminding me that you have started a couple of things that are serving you very well during this past 10 days while you've been going through the stuff you've been going through. And he wants you to remember that self-care and self-healing and what you've been doing extends beyond when you're not feeling well. So he wants you to put some more rigorous attention into your practices that serve you. And he wants you to not only recover from where you were at, but he really wants you to start to thrive with your health and your well-being and taking your experience and energy level to new heights. So whatever you've been doing that works, keep on doing that. And avoid the temptation to go back into some old habits that no longer really support you with the level of energy and health you want. Now, we'll bless you and leave you with that.
I understand.
Excellent, my dear. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Savannah. Would you like a message? I've got a bonsai tree. And this bonsai tree started out perfect. Beautifully shaped, beautifully cared for, and it's kind of gone to pot right now. And what's interesting about this bonsai tree, it's not your bonsai tree. And the person, whoever's bonsai tree this is thinking about basically dumping the bonsai tree and buying a brand new perfect one. And that just hurts your heart. That's just like, what a waste. It was such a gorgeous plant. Before you throw it away, give it to me and let me rehabilitate it and put it back to its glory. And you've got a situation around you right now where you can see beyond the current state. So you, as we say in Reverend Bradley's request, you can see beyond the delusions of the outward senses. So you can see what the potential of something is while someone else is not. And someone else around you who cannot is like wanting to just chunk it and buy a new one or start over. And that's just not fitting well with you. This feels in the realm of more of work or vocation or career, something that you're trying to get either going or resurrect or something like that. And the message is to definitely trust yourself, because the effort will be rewarded manyfold. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that made any darn sense to you.
Yes, I actually asked a question about my career.
Okay. Well, I will bless you. I will bless you and leave you with that and wish you the best of luck. All right, Lisa, would you like a message?
Yes, Terry, thank you.
All right, so Red Hawk, my protector guide, steps very, very close. And something has just started or is about to start, and the consequences of this are not going to be what you want to experience. So I want you to become hyper aware, hyper attentive, and hyper protective for the next 2 to 3 days between now and like Tuesday or Wednesday. Be very, very, very sensitive and aware of your physical surroundings. As I'm touching into this, I don't know if someone around you is having a very dark time, but if someone around you starts to exhibit behaviors that are not normal, pay extra attention to that. And I will bless you and leave you with that. Now, this is one of those cases where the future is not cast in stone, but forewarned is forearmed.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I will bless you and leave you with that. And Coleen, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Where are you joining us from?
New York.
New York, as in the city or the state?
I'm about 30 miles north of New York City. It's a suburb called Rockland County.
Rockland County. My first marriage happened in Orange County.
That's just one up.
Yeah. So something River, Pearl River, New York is where I was married the first time. So I will offer you a message now for your highest and best good. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about my first marriage, and that almost sent me down the bunny hole. So. All right. Interesting. I've got you with 2 workspaces, and the workspaces are on opposite sides of the room. And on one side of the room is this magnificent electronic workstation. And on the other side of the room is a big honking drafting table. And both of them have everything you need to get the job done. And while you are very competent on the electronic ways, there is also an artistic expression part of yourself that really enjoys the old school drafting table and just getting your hands dirty and getting a little bit of lead dust on your hands and just really making something impeccable in an analog world. And this is coming from Tao Chuan Ling, and Tao Chuan Ling is reminding you of the beauty and the aesthetics of certain analog, old school, beautiful things, and your appreciation of that, especially going into the holiday season, is something he wants to remind you of and have you revisit. And I will bless you and leave you with that, and then see if that made any darn sense, and if I can answer anything further.
It actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay, good. All right, well, I'll bless you and leave you with that, and hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And Melanie, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes, please.
And where are you joining us from?
Manhattan.
Oh, okay. So we have 2 from Ontario and 2 from the New York area. So welcome. Now, did that snowstorm come in?
Did the what?
Did you guys get the snowstorm?
No.
Okay. I just heard about a nor'easter, and I didn't know if that was going to hit you all or not. So I think you said yes, you would like a message.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, so Nathan, he's kind of my healing teacher as well as my companion guide, is wanting you to very much ponder the difference between thinking about something and actually creating something. And there's something you want to bring about, and in your mind's eye, it makes perfect sense. And as you go through the motions, it seems as though you're making progress, but it's not getting created in three-dimensional reality yet. And this is very much akin to the feeling I'm getting. So this is my feeling of this message. Is earlier when we did the healing and we made the energy ball between our hands, you can either think about the energy ball or you can make the energy ball. And he's wanting you to ponder the difference between how you can see something so solidly, clearly, but only think about it instead of making it material in the real world and material in your mind. And this definitely has something to do with your well-being and something to do with, it feels like a relationship with another person. And I cannot tell whether that relationship is more personal, romantic, or work, but it feels rather intimate. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if I can offer any more information about that for you.
That's good.
Okay.
The information is perfect.
Okay. I bless you and leave you with that. And thanks for joining us. I hope to see you again. All right. Claudia, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes, Terry, please.
Okay. So this is from Tao Chuan Ling. And he reminds you that even though the starter's pistol gets fired, the race doesn't start until you leave the starting line. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if there's anything else you need to know about that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll bless you and leave you with that. And Shelley, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes.
Have you joined us before?
No.
All right, where are you from?
I'm from Dryden, U.S., Ontario.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's why it sounds familiar, because we already spoke about this. Welcome. Okay. So this is coming from Nathan, my companion guide / healer. And he is showing a box on a table. It appears to be like a dining room table. And this is almost probably the biggest box of Legos I've ever seen in my life. And what's interesting is, as you look at this box of Legos, the thought goes through your mind, I would never do that. And then a small child comes in and just gets fascinated with the Legos. And their imagination just starts to run wild with all the different possibilities of what they can do with this magnificent box of Legos. And in the child's enthusiasm, you start to get enthusiastic as well. And you kind of get that eye of the child back, that kind of sense of wonder, that sense of imagination, and that sense of what's possible. And you've come across something recently in your life that you kind of looked at like that box of Legos before the child came into the picture. And it's something that's kind of interesting, but doesn't necessarily seem like it's right for you. And if you allow yourself to get infected by the enthusiasm of others and really revisit some of that curiosity and some of that childlike naivete, you may be most surprised. Now, this is somewhat an overall feeling kind of about this holiday season, but it's something deeper in that as well. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if you need any more clarification or if that made sense.
No, that made sense. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I bless you and leave you. And Albert, you're next. Would you like a message, sir?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Do you remember the flying wing?
Yes.
So I've got a scaled down model of the flying wing, and it's a model. It's not meant to fly, but you're trying to figure out how to get the darn thing to fly. And Tao Chuan Ling is reminding you that if you want to get a flying wing that flies, go start with the right tools and don't try to get a model of something that's not meant to fly. And you'll save yourself a lot of time and energy and effort. So consider the source of a project you're wanting to bring about, and if the way it got started is indeed going to allow it to accomplish what you want, or if in this case you're better off starting from scratch and building it from the very beginning with the end in mind. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
And Hanna, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
So Clarissa steps forward, and Clarissa is handing you an exquisite miniature poinsettia as a gift from your auntie, the one who crossed over not too long ago. And it seems as though there is something in the last 4 to 5 days that you've accomplished, something you've shifted your mindset on, something that makes sense today that didn't make sense before. And it's making a difference in how you walk through life, and she's presenting this to you as an acknowledgement for that work. And it's only about 3 inches tall, but the flower is just magnificent. Or I guess poinsettias don't have flowers, but the leaves are just exquisite. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, and let's see. Melanie, I just gave you a message, right? Yes. All right, so we have whoever's phone number ends in 1027. Judy, I think.
That's me. Yeah, Judy.
Would you like a message?
Yes, please, dear. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. So I've got you leaving the mechanics place. And you got your car tuned up, the tires are all checked, the windshields are running, the car's clean, the oil's good, full tank of gas, everything, all systems are go. And you just got to get in the car and go. The thing is your destination has not changed in a very long time, but you keep on changing your mind about how you want to get there. So you got both things. You know where you're going and you know how you're going to get there as far as the vehicle. You just got to pick the path and start driving the path. And trust that as you go along, everything you need is going to be there, and that you will get there when you get there. So part of the concern I'm seeing you've got is, I don't know that you trust yourself to know the right path to get there. And I don't know that you like the fact that you're not exactly able to nail down when the arrival time, when your ETA will be. So the only thing you can do right now is pick the path you're going to go and start the journey, knowing that you'll get there in time and on time, and learn what you need to learn along the way, because everything you need is right there, except for you're not in the car going. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you, Terry.
You are welcome. And then we've got a phone number that ends in 4879. Is that Wanda? Or someone else? Okay, we cannot hear you yet. We see you're unmuted.
Yeah?
Hi, Wanda. Would you like a message? Would you like?
Pressing the wrong button, yes.
Okay. Okay, so this message is from Nathan, and this is regarding your overall health, well-being, and how you're managing both. And I don't know about at your house, but at my house, every Tuesday, the trash man comes, so we have to take the trash out or we miss the trash man. And Nathan is wanting you to set up for yourself several different ways to make sure you take care of your well-being, like the way I have to do the trash every Tuesday. So it could be you set up a walk to go walking with someone on Wednesday, you set up a lunch at a healthy place on Thursday, but you need to have these appointments in time that bring you out of what you're doing to take care of your health and well-being. So set some appointments, set some reminders, set some consequences in your life. Like if I miss the trash, I'm stuck with stinky trash for another week. If you miss an appointment with someone for lunch or dinner or a doctor's appointment or a walking appointment or something like that, then there's consequences. But then that makes it real and makes day-to-day effort of managing it more manageable. And I hope that makes sense, and I bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Now, I believe, according to my observation, that everybody has received a message. If that is not so, please unmute yourself. And that concludes our message of service. So now we will set our week's intention and close the service. So I'm going to mute you both again, just in case. And I invite you both to get present here now in this moment and put your hands out, palms up, and invite your spirit teachers to connect with you and complete our circle across time and space and connect our loving intention facilitated by our spirit guides and teachers. And as we connect through time and space, here and now at this moment, I want you to imagine that it's next Sunday, the 13th of January, or the 13th of December, and we're connecting again. And you've accomplished something on your list, something you're really happy about, something you wanted to bring about, and you've taken the actions to bring it about into three-dimensional reality. As you show up here next Sunday, what is that experience? What is that feeling of connecting with a community of like minds and kindred spirits, having accomplished something you wanted to bring about. It could be something very small or something very big. The it doesn't matter. The experience matters. And I want you to feel that sense. Is it a sense of pride, a sense of relief, a sense of being happy, joyful, satisfied, fulfilled? Touch into that sensation, that sense of being. Yeah, that's the one. And if you can't put a word on it, don't worry about putting a word on it, but we want to hold that feeling of seeing yourself having accomplished what it is you want to bring about. And that's our context for the week. That's our intention for the week. And I invite our spirit guides and teachers to step very close to us and continue to be an active part of our lives and remind us to open our eyes that we may see, our ears that we may hear, our minds that we may comprehend, but most importantly, our hearts that we may give and receive love freely, for after all, that is the highest command. And as you exemplify in our lives your love and support, help us share that with those we connect with and meet as we take the right actions this week to bring about what it is we want to bring about this lifetime. And together we say, and so it is. And I thank our spirit guides and teachers, and I thank both of you for being here with us, and I hope everything's okay with Melanie. Hopefully she didn't get called back to work. And until next week, my highest blessings. Take good care. And I'm available by email if you need anything. And I love you both. Take good care. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.